She'll be mom, right?
Yeah, that was my idea. I'm sorry. My cake lady, she done quit the job. She got married to a kind of a halfway pop guy. She done quit her job.
Halfway pop.
Halfway pop.
I just took the purple stuff and did it basically. You know what I mean? But Chris right here is this is second time. I'm so glad you came back, man, because you're not gonna find nothing like this, man. Ain't no place like this. So I'm glad you came back and that we could kind of pull you in from outside. It's cold out there, right? So Chris, Gerald is back from his little retreat at Rush City. He did a Rush City retreat. Was it 90 days?
Yeah, I did.
90 days. Ain't you tired?
Very tired of it.
Do you know this guy right here?
I remember.
Yeah, you remember him.
I recognize his face.
Yeah, Gerald. You know what I mean? Give Gerald a little hand. There's another brother. Young brother who sit here last week, his name is Anthony. It was his first time. He had just got out like a week ago. He may show up. I hope he does, because I can see that he needs some place to be. You know what I mean? Couple things that are going on. We've always got that $1 million phone call. Kevin right here, y'all don't know him, I just met him myself. Kevin Wright. Kevin is up in Faribault. And then he lived over there in Crossroads or something like that. Crossing Home. Anybody know about Crossing Home? Mm-hmm. So then you know about it. And then his counselor, what's your counselor's name? King Mason. King Mason, the hand right here. Good? Good. Good. What's going on? You doing something? Yeah, King, give us an update on how your school year is going.
It's going pretty good. My voice is kind of lost.
Okay, let's see if you can find for 2 more minutes. Did you got a good teacher? Who's your teacher?
Pablo.
Miss Pablo? She good? You like it? King, what grade you in this year now?
4th.
Look, big time, big time. We've been missing you because we haven't been here in about 5 weeks, but I just want you to know that we love you here and we miss you when you go. So try to get here the best you can, all right? All right. Did you send me that?
All right, King.
Yeah, all right, King. There's some chicken in there or no?
I don't.
Do you want some?
Not really.
Okay.
Geronimo.
All right, good. Geronimo, he's late. He's all late. Give us up. Come sit down, son. Couple things I'm trying to tell you is, appreciate this. So this month, October the, man, I'm gonna look it up. Sorry. You know, we're doing a drive. My wife and I, Power People, send 2 containers of merchandise down to the Bahamas, that have been hard hit by the hurricane, Dorian. I don't know about them storms. They be giving them storms some names. I mean, all you gotta do is just say storm. I mean, I get it. I don't need the rest of it, I don't know, but I'm grateful. I've never been in one, and I hope I'll never be in one. But once I lived in Hawaii for a while, and there was a tsunami that was coming to Hawaii, right? Tsunami. That's another name for storm. Right? And so they evacuated Waikiki. That's where I stayed at, and they evacuated that, and so you had to go up into the hills. Hawaii is very hilly, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of my friends, such and much, they're like, oh, I ain't going nowhere. Ain't no tsunami, bunami.
Nobody gonna push me out.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do what you do. I said, well, that's cool. But I'm gonna see y'all. I went up to Kiawai, which is way up in the mountains. I stayed up in there, And I watched the tsunami from way up on top of the hill. Y'all ain't hearing me. So, you know, when trouble is coming, get out of the way.
Right.
Somebody say, get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Hey, sweetheart, yeah, so look, we are sending 2 containers back to the Bahamas. One of them is, I'm gonna ask one to make me a copy of that right now so I can read it for you. One of them is going to Freeport. That was one of the islands hit but not as bad as Abaco. Abaco, the island that my wife and I just visited, it was destroyed. And so we're sending goods and supplies down there on the October the 26th and 7th. I want to say Friday and Saturday, but I'm gonna get the date straight. And then Brad right here, Brad Richard, works for Bridging, him and Franco, Montez Franco. And Brad, give us an update on what Bridging is talking about.
Yeah, I had a conversation with the executive team, and Bridging's made a decision that they are going to support the effort. And so we're in the
Can we
process.
give Bridging some data right
You all know what Bridging does?
here? Go ahead and tell them.
Yeah, Bridging helps people in transition go from homelessness into furnishing their home with hope. So you make an appointment through an agency, you go there, and you go to 70,000 square feet, and you come out with a furnished apartment. I was a client there in December, and then they asked me to come to work for them in January. We just hit 95,000 families that we've served since 1987, and we partner with over 200 agencies, so that's the foundation of the business. I work in the warehouse, and I work with volunteers. So I went to Mark. Mark has said, yes, Bridging and beyond. So we're actually going through the warehouse and looking at pulling stuff together. They've also said that they will get transportation to me to get a truck with whatever we have to bring down to, or to bring up to New Hope on that weekend. In addition, they hooked me up with an organization called Do Good and Heart, which is out of a church down in Lakeville. And they do all the clearing for Amazon and Walmart. And I talked with them today, and they are also in agreement that they'd like to participate. And so I'm supposed to I have to get on and talk to this gentleman and see if what we can coordinate to actually get up to support the effort. So,
Hey, give Brad some love. I'm gonna tell you, I'm so proud of Brad because you heard what he's saying. He came there as a client.
Yes.
And then organizations that serve us in a way that's helpful to us, Bridging. We want to uplift them, and so I asked Brad if he well, we made the announcement right here. He heard it and took it back to his organization. Let me read you the narrative that my wife wrote, just so that you understand what we're talking about. I'm making it myself clear. I was Dr. Vernon Cornelia Price, and I was born and raised in the Bahamas, and all my family live in Freeport and Abaco, Bahamas. Were devastated by Dorian. I currently live with my family in Minnesota, and I was terrified she was not making it up, as I watched Dorian almost demolish my entire country. And then the Bahamas is beautiful, and this place, Abaco, what she's talking about, is just beautiful. My niece and her children were trapped by rising water in their car and had to be airlifted to safety. My other family members were evacuated, but it took days to find them safe shelter. Praise God, we did not lose any life, but I can tell you my family lost all their material possessions, including some of their homes. The New York Times reported Bahamas stunned as water recedes. It's like a bomb went off. I appreciate any support you can lend to help my family get back on their feet. The funds and donations will be used to buy materials to help repair and in some cases rebuild homes. Buy appliances destroyed, buy furniture, fix their cars that may be destroyed, and school clothes for children and help rebuild their lives. Many blessings to y'all who decide to give. And then Dr. Brenner and Brother Shane, and we're trying to host this deal. We're collecting and shipping supplies to the Bahamas for Dr. Brenner's family. We got family members that are already on point so that we know the stuff really gets to people, not up here at some agency where we don't know. And, you know, sometimes we like to think people are all doing the right thing, and most people are, but, you know, I just know that sometimes the agencies take a hit, you know, and put a 1 on it, you know. So we want to do is make sure, you know what I'm saying? And so we just want to make sure it gets right to the people. And then here's where it's going to be the date, October 26th and October 27th. That's Saturday and Sunday, I believe, or Friday and Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, and it's going to be at New Hope Church, and that's right out here on 42nd Street, just before you get to 169. That's the church that we attend, and the pastor, you know, we've organized with him, and he's willing to let the containers sit there in the church, and the church is going to be doing some stuff, and my hope is that we're going to have to buy another container because we're going to have too much stuff to go in. Here's the stuff: generators, beds, and this is big time stuff. Y'all, you know, we ain't looking for you all to do this. Generators, beds, water, sheets, kitchen supplies, towels, pots and pans. You know, this needs to be new or next to new. Bathroom supplies, toiletries, batteries, big tools, hammers, screwdrivers, pliers, canned goods, packaged food, dry food, baby pampers, diapers, and all that kind of stuff. You guys will really need everything. I will say though, and I love this, a lot of the movie stars and celebrities have got together, and they have been sending Tyler Perry sent a plane load of stuff, generators and stuff down there to give them power. Say power. You know, in order to rebuild anything, you need power. And if they don't have power, then you have to get artificial power so that they can get up and run it. And so some of the guys have done some big stuff, and like that's what I'm saying. That stuff gets right to these agencies. Well, what we want to do is get right to the family members on the ground that we know are distributing this stuff, you know, amongst the village and the people, so to speak. So we may need some guys on Saturday and Sunday from 8 to 3, Saturday, 8 to 3, or 1 to 7 on Sunday to load up the containers when people are bringing stuff by, and then we'll kind of like videotape that and maybe frame it in some ways, you know, pop guys and who we are, that we can mess around here and help somebody else do something. You might not be able to do any of that stuff, and we ain't mad at you if you can't do it, but we just want you to have the opportunity to give something back. I just want you to have an opportunity to do something good. Say the good life. Yeah. Some of us around the table are starting to believe that we could actually have it. Well, here's some people that maybe had it and lost it. Yeah, but they want to get it again. Say, get it again.
Get it again.
Yeah, I love that. So that's what's happening. Brad, I want you to have this, but then also we're going to have Wayne send that to you. And then I'm going to have Kevin right here just introduce himself to the group and talk a little bit about himself. Go ahead, Kevin.
My name's Kevin Wright. I just got out in March, Fairboat.
Give him a hand for that.
I've been, got out, got me a job, been staying out of trouble. I've been clean 5 years now. Yeah, it's been a struggle, but it's getting easier every day.
All right, that's good.
And
Kevin, where you from?
I'm originally from Oklahoma. And, my family moved up here in like 75, and I've been off and on. I've done a lot of traveling, went to the military.
Did you get your discharge?
Yeah, I got a,
Medical?
I got a BCD, bad conduct.
Okay.
But, I've been, right now I'm just trying to stay on the right path.
Right. And so his caseworker at what's the name of the place? Crossing Homes referred him here. I'm thinking like who? Right. What's the guy's name?
His name's Dave Henderson.
Dave Henderson. Anybody know Dave?
John.
John Henderson. Anybody know? You know John?
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, I don't know whatever, John is referring people over here, this and that. So he called, Kevin called here, and then he talked to Wayne and them, and then we got the number, and I called him, and we had a little conversation. So she's coming as a guest today, just to see a little bit about who we are, you know, what we're doing, and this and that. And give Kevin a welcome. This big a What are you trying to tell me something? What are you trying to tell me?
Miss Cheryl is on our online meeting
Yeah.
from New York.
Okay.
So she's joining us live right there. Here's Miss Cheryl and her grandbaby.
Hey, Miss Cheryl. Hey, how you doing? Give her a hand. Yeah, you know we love ya and we miss ya. And please hurry back and make that potato salad. 'Cause you know you got it good. Who's that you got with you? Hey, baby, how you doing? Your granddaughter waving here. Look at that. She's beautiful, too. Yeah. Oh, I see now what you're doing, Wayne, so Wayne, y'all can see where I see. Oh,
Right, just mirroring it.
He's a little bit ahead of me here, but I'm trying. I'm trying, you know. So Miss...
Get no volume, man?
When people log in, they start off mute. They have to hit a code.
That's
We'll figure it out.
too long of an answer. Just so look, no, we can't get no. We're working on it, and then we'll keep y'all posted. But the whole thing is, look, what we can do right here is we can bring people in from across the country. That's the thing. And as Wayne and them are working on it, develop it, you'll be able to talk, or else we can type it in. So Kevin is here, but look who's right here. Look at Ed. Look at it. Man, I love seeing him. Man, give Ed a good hand to see him. You know, I thought Ed was down for the count, man.
No.
Yeah, I thought they was gonna stroke you, Ed.
No, they still sweat me though.
They still sweating you. Give us an update.
Well, it's been 6 months now. I've been out.
Oh, that's 6 months. Come on.
All my doctors said everything is cleared up. My liver, my heart, my health is much better. I have a lot of energy. I'm ready to go back to work now.
Right.
And I graduate this in 2 weeks
From
accessibility
right.
outpatient.
That's news.
George is collaborating with accessibility. They do the housing for me. I've got housing with Freedom Works. And he put me on blast the last couple of weeks. You know, we got Bible study and I pray out and my testimony, and then now he want me to go to North Dakota this weekend and talk to some young kids about ways and stuff.
Look at him, he's going to North Dakota to get himself. I thought they had Ed, you know, for a minute. I thought he was gone because he got, what's your jigger? Isn't that Chad?
Yeah,
You
Chad
know,
White.
he got Mr. Chad, you know.
Oh, man.
You know how that is. And so we're so glad to see you, man. I miss you. You know, you look good. You looking good. Look healthy. You know, got some nice color in your face, man. That's good. Don't let them get you, man. Don't let them get you. Now, here go. Herman, he ain't been here. I don't know how long he ain't been here. We might have to just take him out and, you know, and do AK. You know, what's going on, son?
Everything's been good so far.
Give
Just
us
the weather.
Give us an update.
Yeah. Just the weather held me back. We got tired of getting soaked and wet and soaked and wet, and so decided to take a break. And glad it cleared up for the day, so I was able to be here and be a part of the program. So we're missing you and thinking about you.
Give Herman some love. I was thinking, you know, he up here now, you know, it was raining on us too now. That's the weather. I don't know, you know, if it's different over south than where
You're a little bit closer though, yeah.
it was over north, but, so, you know, come on, you know, one thing about the group, just so you know this, we meet every Tuesday. The only time that we'll take a break is if the buses don't run. If it's so bad out the buses don't run, then we'll shut down. If you hear on television that the buses are not running, we're not going to have group. Otherwise, a couple of years, the group has fell on New Year's Eve or something like that. And then we don't do it, we don't meet them, but we have our own little thing before that. So them are the only reasons why we're not going to be here. And you know, I don't care. I love y'all, and I know you get busy and this and that. I just want you, I want you to recognize now. Everybody's busy. Everybody got stuff. We all faced with something, and what makes group really valuable is that you're here. And to the extent that you're here, you magnify what everybody else is talking about and what everybody else is doing. So don't think your presence doesn't mean anything. It means everything. You know what I mean. Here's O'Shea here. You know, he's been gone for, I don't know which jigger. He came in here kind of limping and everything like this here. The first thing I said is, what you went down on that motorcycle? He said, yeah, man. Well, give us an update on what's going on, man. Say your name so everybody know who you are.
My name's O'Shea for those who don't know me. Props. No, see, I started back coming. Sometimes I have different things going on, but I missed last week because, you know, being hurt or whatever. I feel blessed in life, though. I almost died when I was young. Was hospitalized for a long time. Since I've been home, I almost died twice. Well, almost died, went to the hospital, almost died in the hospital. And then just thinking about my motorcycle accident a couple Saturdays ago, didn't have my helmet on. Guy cut me off. I go down, I wake up, they put me on an ambulance.
In the car, guy in the car.
Yeah, the car. Yeah, so just thinking about how many times I've been put in situations, yet he keep preserving me. You know.
And you got something for you.
I feel like I got a purpose. So, you know, today I started a new gig. Last year I started working in PYC school, alternative school, teaching a class there. And I was extended an offer to come speak at Cooper last year. So I went and spoke, and then they started working on a contract for me to work there. Well, today I just started my job at Cooper, teaching the class. So.
Good. Come on, man. Yeah, he got a lot to offer, man. Like y'all do, you know what I mean. But you've been out how long now?
I've been out for 10 years now.
And then I think it was last year or about 7 months ago you expired.
I got off parole last month.
Can you give him some love? I need you to register to vote now.
I am registered to vote, and I did vote last time.
Oh, good. Look at it. I mean, that boy got his rights up in here. That's beautiful. Well, we go a long way back right there. You know, DeAndre right here, I love when I see Big D. He got through the week. Give him some love, man. What you got? You got anything to share?
I'm handling my business, man. Going through all the positive changes at the you did at the halfway house. Health is. My doctor said, man, your A1C going down. I mean, I couldn't believe it because I was fresh off a Snicker bar.
Right. Come on.
But I'm trying to quit smoking them cigarettes, man. So I want to get me some nicotine gum today.
What?
So yeah, I'm trying.
Can y'all give him some for that?
Things, man, because all it is just boredom.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find other things to do with the boredom, man, other than just messing myself up, man. So but I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to see y'all. Glad to be here. Glad to see her, Kelly.
Yeah.
Man, that's my younger brother.
Oh, he's a good brother.
Yeah.
When he don't skip because of the weather, you know.
Man, just I don't know. I'm just I feel blessed, man. I feel blessed to be around all of y'all, man.
Give him some love, man. Give him some love. I was thinking about the Dramatics. I don't know yet. It's an old school band. Some of y'all too young for it. But the Dramatics was a singing group for just a short period of time. The Dramatics ran the Temptations out of town for just a short period of time. The Temptations came back. But the Dramatics had a song called "What You See, What You Get."
Oh yeah.
Right?
What you see?
Yeah. I said, what you see. No, listen on there. Yeah. Well, so that's what the Acts of Faith is tonight, and we're going to go to that. But before we do that, here's Gerald right here. Gerald Hollins. Gerald, give us a little update on what's going on with you. You know, you just got out. What day was it?
October 2nd.
Okay, give him some love.
Thanks. Yeah, well, since then, I've been first it was kind of hectic, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to go and get my ID from one place to another and go through all that red tape kind of stuff, through the county jail to the other jail. But besides that, the positive stuff, I've been having Shane here. He's, I don't want to say the snapback, but it kept me focused on what I needed to do, you know what I'm saying? Because it showed me, instead of having like depend on myself, there's friends, there's an organization that is there as long as you're willing to accept the help. And since I've been seeing that, my mind frame for this program has changed a lot. You know, because I know now that not only Mr. T over here, Mr. Caldwell, is reaching for me, other people are too. You know, and come tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'm going back out to Second Chance. I guess.
Come on, give some love.
Guess I'm in there. I'm gonna find out. You know, but I got irons in the fire.
Good, man, that's good, and I love his attitude right there, but I just want to put some stuff out here with Gerald, and I just want to do that in front of witnesses. This is all love. But, you know, Gerald has struggled in the past with using. Raise your hand in the room if you ever struggled with using. Now, I just want you to look around the room, just so you know, right?
Yes.
So, listen to this. Okay, put your hand down. So, we can't have no using while they're over at the pump house. And we had them once before. It didn't work out the way we wanted it to. But they was going to put the brother in a homeless shelter. And his PO, who I have a relationship with, he called me and said, look, would you be willing to give this brother a shot? I don't want to put him in a homeless shelter. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You know how low down people can be. Some people don't care whether or not you go into the homeless shelter or not. Right. This dude right here had your humanity on his mind. And he called me, he said, man, you know, would you consider this? I know what happened and this and that, but I don't want to put him out there in the homeless population. And man, that touched me because he had compassion for our guy. Right. I said, well, if you have that much compassion, then yes, we're going to give it another try. But it's probation. Now that's the wrong word for it. It's a try. Say a try. Try. And I'm saying this out loud because Gerald needs to be loved into his rightful place. You see my son out here floating around on Broadway, pull over and ask him, hey, what you doing? Where are you going? You know what I mean? Hey, Sherrod, come here and get you a chair. Check on him because he's a smart dude. He's a baker, and we're trying to get him to the place where he can use his skills as a baker to earn a good living or maybe one day have his own bakery. And he's a smart guy, and we want him to get where he got to go. I want to say it out to you in front of witnesses. We're not against you, we're for you. But we're going to be checking on you, man. You know, this is all love. If you clown me, I'm going to put you out.
I know that's right.
Give him some love for taking that lead. Go ahead.
I got something for Gerald, though, too.
Go ahead.
I mean, I've been going to bat, man.
Yeah.
I had about 50 calls for you. And I said, you know what? I mean, you know, people gave me chances, a second chance.
Yes, sir.
They didn't look back, none of that. My thing with you tomorrow is you have to be willing to take that dirty drop once you get this job. It's going to be, we making $11, you're going to be making more than that now.
Wow.
$2 extra, but you're not going to be inside where we at. So they're going to test you with the swab and all, whatever you have to do to take the test. So I'm just giving you heads up today.
Good.
Holler at me tomorrow, 1 o'clock, be on time. And we got the pop guys in there. And one pop guy, you know, I love him. Every time I tell him to do something, he's just, ooh.
Yeah.
I had 14 people, seven this week and 7 last week. That's why we couldn't get you in. But I'm talking about, we done took the whole thing to another level. We have women's now. And we going full force. No big eyes, no little U's. They cutting mattress. Because I'm on them. You know what I'm saying? So we got some something special from one of the pop guys. Said, tell him to come, Debo, so you already know what's up.
So what you got to say back to that?
Well, I definitely want to say thank you, and I appreciate it. And you remember when I was working, I'm back to that. You know, I can't have
People every tell me that when he working, he gets down.
Oh, yes.
And this is my sister say he gets down. So man, get down like that every day. Give him some love. Yeah, give some love, man. And so we just really, man, we just want, Gerald, hey, what's up, son? We just want Gerald, to get on the good foot and stay there. He got a good spot over there where he I've been thinking about Chris right here. I don't know what it is about Chris. You got a good spirit about him. You're over there at St. Stephen's. You're still over there, right? Where you at? They put you out of there?
Yeah, they put me out.
Where you at?
No, I'm in St. Stephen's now.
Yeah.
But I was in Simpson at first.
Yeah, Simpson. Now you're in St. Stephen's.
Yeah, they put me out.
They put you out.
Yeah.
Why they put you out, bro?
Some people say I was there complaining about me.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I don't talk to them people. I be into my phone and stuff. So that's why I got confused about it. And I asked him, he said, well, this is what I heard. So you got to go over there and we'll bring somebody up. And I never got any feedback. I just kept trying to ask him about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about bringing Chris over to Pop One so that he'd be up off there with Virginia. I like, I feel like he got good energy. He's a pop guy. But I just want you to come to the group one more time. Because you got to see pop group is mandatory for pop residents. So we just got to see how you doing. But I like that, and I think if you work with Tierra, he can help you get another job beyond this one, permanent. Even though you're working with Northrop, what do you call it?
I'm not getting no
You're not getting it. So you just clowning. What's happening?
I'm going to say about last week. I don't know what.
It wasn't your week.
No. Okay, I just started back on my meds.
Good.
So I almost fell in the machine twice.
Oh wow.
So I told him I couldn't do it. I need to go replace someone else. So they're in the process to keep trying to replace me. Like I just worked yesterday. I worked at Caribou, and it was just a one-day thing. They just paid me that day, and that was it. And I'm supposed to work at some other place today, but I didn't make it to the ambassador.
Let's take him.
Just bring him up there too, cause I'm
So let's do that.
Cause he gonna be going somewhere else.
Okay.
We ain't gonna have him in our building.
Okay. So if you could take him there, then I'm gonna consider pulling him out of the house.
But you still want to meet at your building, right?
Yeah, but I still want him in my building. At 1 o'clock, yes.
Okay, good. So you gonna be all right?
I'm so close to it. I gotta keep going. I gotta stand on my 2 feet and keep going. No matter what time.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Give him some love. Yeah, we're gonna get into some stuff tonight. I just want to say to O'Shea, the name of this organization is Power of People. Say Power of People.
Power of people.
Personal Development.
Personal development.
Leadership Institute.
Leadership Institute.
I don't know who that is, but you know what? He said it, but that's what I asked him. But what I'm trying to say to you is, leadership. Say leadership.
Leadership.
Leadership matters, right? It matters. And so many years ago, when I first connected with O'Shea is one of the original pop guys from the very first pop class. O'Shea was there, He a big dude now, but he was a little bitty guy right then. But that was how many? 13 years ago,
13, 15 years.
Something like that, a long time ago. But regardless of the length of time, the whole idea for us was to develop us personally. Say develop personally. Then exercise leadership. Come on.
Then exercise leadership.
Develop yourself personally. Exercise leadership. This is what we are now starting to experience, and what you just heard about these jobs. That's exercising leadership. What you heard him say about getting in with the young people in PCYC, Clinton Christian Youth Center up on Broadway. This is the cradle to the prison pipeline. So he's up here stepping into the pipeline And what he's trying to do is intervene. Say intervene.
Intervene.
When I got you, that was a prevention. When I got him, that was an intervention. It already happened. Whatever it is already happened. We intervene. But now what you're doing is preventing what could happen down the line. Somebody say prevention.
Prevention.
I'm going to stay on this for one quick minute about prevention. Prevention is so germane to how you spend your time. Your time is what it puts a demand on your leadership ability. Do you have time? Say, do I have time?
Do I have time?
To spend on somebody else.
I
want you to think about what you just said. See, because time is the real money.
Say that.
Time is the real money. And so what you have to spend forever is just time. Money will come to you whether you're looking for it or not. Have you ever just walked down the street and there was some money?
Yeah.
Looked in your pocket and found money. Money is currency. Say currency. Currency has to do with flow. If you just move around, money is going to find you some kind of way. It might not be good money, because all money isn't good, but all money does flow. Now watch this. Time is the intentionality that you're using it on purpose. I'm giving of myself on purpose. Right? So I think I'm going to introduce something here. I'm going to show you something. This is a little bit of experiment. I'm going to show you this right here. I'm just going to try to figure out how to make this work together. Watch this. This right here, I want you to think of this as a type of umbilical cord. Right? And so, when an umbilical cord, I'm going to stay in front of the camera here for a minute, so I use you. So, DeAndre, take this. This is the umbilical cord. Put that down, what you got in your hand, and grab that with two hands right there. And then you grab this side of the umbilical cord. Put all them wings down. You can't come in and all them many wings. What about you? Just sit right down. All right, but look right at him. Turn your chair so you're facing him. See, this is representing an umbilical cord. I want you to watch this. This is something. The umbilical cord is what connects you to the parental host. It's scientifically that host is female, but it's actually bigger than that, right? Generically, it's whoever has the time to nurture the other side of the cord. Boy, that was deep, and y'all didn't say that. Watch this. So, to the extent that it's the mother, I'll start with that so you just get a sense for what I'm saying in an umbilical cord, and I want you to think about your own life. You were connected to someone else's body. And whatever that someone else had going on in their life had everything to do with the messages that was being sent along the umbilical cord. Watch this. The umbilical cord, Kevin, is really a type of telephone. It's a telephone line. Say a telephone line.
Telephone line.
Yeah, it's wire and wireless. Huh? So watch this. Watch carefully now. So when the mother is in a good situation, then the messages that are sent along the umbilical cord, the phone line, to the host, that's the child, those messages give the child a preconceived notion of what his or her life could be. I don't hear nobody. I don't hear nobody. So watch this. So what happens is that when the cord is tight, it represents love. And so when you move to the left, you move. When you move back to the right, you move. And so the child begins to intuit what positive movement is, and it develops an appreciation and an anticipation for someone who will be looking for me when I come on the other side of the cord. I don't hear nobody. Wait a minute, I'm too deep for you here? Watch this. So that means whenever you start, I want you to just ease up on the cord and grab here. The cord is smaller. the womb is smaller. The cord is smaller, move up, the womb is smaller. The cord is small. See what I'm saying? As you're gradually moving toward the birthing place, but you have the education and the information that has been going on with the mother has already been transmitted through the telephone line. I don't hear nobody. Somebody, that's good teaching in here. I don't know where you can get it, Sherrod. I don't know what job site you can get on, and they give it to you like I'm giving it to you tonight. But watch, I want you to show you something. I want to show you something. Now watch this so carefully. When the bond is tight, they flowing together. They flowing together. They're flowing together. I understand this now better in my life. I wish I could get to the board, but I can't. But I'm gonna try to explain this to you. When I was 30, I didn't get this. And the children who were on the who were on the other side of the telephone line, I didn't understand that what I was doing or not doing with the mother was sending false messages to the child.
That's right.
And that I'm responsible for sending the false information. But I was too immature and stuck on my own self to appreciate or realize that I was responsible for sending valuable information before the child ever hit the ground.
That's right.
That's right. Come on.
That's right.
Watch this carefully. Watch this carefully. Let me show you something. See, Real, you take this one. Then you take this one right here. Yeah, just sit down, don't get all excited. Watch this, watch this right there. Right there. Just keep it right there. See, this cord here is loose. And the looseness represents the host moving in a way that doesn't demonstrate any love for the child. I want you to catch this now. When the child is unwanted, say unwanted.
Unwanted.
Sometimes the child is wanted, but mom is under stress. And the stress is being put on by the guy or the world. Say the world.
The world.
Guys, sometimes we take a bad rap, and some of it is rightfully so. But in this day when we're living in, some chicken wings is living faster than you are.
No question.
They hit it harder than you. In some cities that I've been in, it's them sisters who are banging, and they banging for real. They all organized and really getting down, and they armed too. I'm just trying to help you. But my point here is that the messaging is connected, but it's loose. Okay, watch this. So see, here go Doug, right over here, Doug Fresh. When Lily was born, that's his daughter, 17 years old, just turned 17 now 2 days ago. When she was born, the connection was like this. And when she came, Doug, watch this, she came wanting. Say wanting.
Wanting.
When you came wanting. Say wanting.
Wanting.
What you're looking for is somebody who's looking for you. And you have sent the messages on the telephone line that suggest you are wanted. And when you get those kind of messages along the line, the fact that you are loved and wanted, it materializes in the personality traits of the child. I'm teaching good. I'm teaching good. Watch it. But when those messages are not sent correctly, then this child is needy. Say needy.
Needy.
They are clingy. Say clingy.
Clingy.
They have low self-esteem. Say low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem.
Ed, am I making sense over here?
Definitely.
Because I was wondering, Ed was texting right there, so he might.
I wasn't texting, I was just looking at the time.
Somebody else got a message for Ed. Maybe he might miss this one, but it might be for him if he would just listen to me. Watch it, right? See, look, man. So then, when you come home, nobody is looking for you, but you are with the natural dynamic of your birth. you're looking around for the person that's looking for you. When there's nobody looking for you, then you are wanting, and that wanting turns itself in to the children who are at PCYC. And them children who are wanting come to PCYC because every place they go, they always get put out of there because they don't know how to behave, they haven't been schooled, there's no home training, and they had poor messaging even pre-birth. And then what you see is what you get, right? So what your job is as a leader, I'm teaching good tonight, your job as a leader is to demonstrate you have wanting. You want them. People don't want to know how much you know. They want to know if you really care. And if you really care, it feeds the wanting that was lost in the womb. This is why the young people that Will and you guys have been mentoring, they still asking back for you. You know, they still saying, when is Willie and Ananiah and Richard and them coming back in TA? Why are they saying that? Because the teaching, the leadership teaching you're giving them is filling up a hole inside of them that was pre-birth. And the wanting of somebody who is looking for me in a loving way, that hole is being filled up. This is what is happening to your boys. This is how they came, and this is what you're doing. And so you got to understand, something first had to happen to you so that you could be reborn. Wait a minute. Say reborn. Reborn. Wait a minute. So Lazarus asked Joshua, he said, well, how can I be born again? I can't go back into my mother's womb. He said, but your spirit has to be reborn. And now in a reborn spirit, you can pull the cord tightly and the love begins to be transmitted. You feeling me? This is what's important. As you start to transmit that love, now watch this, I'm going to drop this. One more thing on you, I'm going to stop. Can you take it? Yes. One more thing and I'm going to stop. I'll be done for the night. We can eat cake. Come on. Watch this, watch this. See, what you're doing can seem temporarily worthless. It can seem as if your child who is acting resilient to your loving is not paying you any attention. But in the fullness of time, an incident will present itself to this child. And the incident that presents itself will be asking you a question. Are you this? Or are you that?
Hey, I can't hear.
My man. Give him a hand, see if you hear this. Can you hear that? Okay, watch this now. Watch. You gotta hush now. Watch this. All love, it's all love. Watch this. And so what has to happen here is that you are working future time in the present moment. Wait. Listen. You are working future time. Say future time. Future time. Future time, the time that is coming but is not now. The time that is not coming, that is coming but is not now, is going to present a situation, an opportunity for your boys to lose it all or to gain an understanding and be a force in life to be reckoned with. That is coming in the future. But you have to manage it in the present. And so in the present, we're trying to love you well enough in group so that no matter what Mr. Blake and anybody else say, your umbilical cord is not suggesting that you're a loser, but we're pulling tight enough on this thing to say, wait a minute, we love you, Negro. You ain't got to run from here. Ain't nobody in here trying to lock you up. And matter of fact, some people in here trying to keep you from being locked up. Is that right or wrong?
That's right.
Okay. Watch this. Here it is, here it is. I'm just gonna drop this and I'll be done. Watch this. The idea is, when you are operating in the loving, your loving transcends time. It's not bound by chronological time. But it goes into what they call Kairos time.
What's that mean?
Kairos time is God's supernatural time.
Say that, say that, say that.
Huh? Say Kairos.
Kairos.
Say Chronos.
Chronos.
Chronos means incremental time. You know, right now, if you look right here, my watches say that it's 6:49. That's chronological. And it's going to be 6:50. That's chronological. It doesn't mean anything. That's man-made.
That's right, yeah.
They don't exist.
They get ready to go say, all right, now daylight saving time's over. Everybody change your clock back an hour. It's a game. But Kairos, say Kairos.
Kairos.
Kairos is time that the world can't completely understand, but it exists and the world is inside of it. Kairos time is where you operate in your strength, your power, your leadership, and love in the present time, and you send a message through the cord into time future. And when you send that message, it gives your young person the right understanding where he or she can potentially make the right call. Somebody say the right call.
The right call.
Watch this, and I'm just going to leave you with this. Many of us in here who were born into families where the love did not exist for us from the beginning spent most of our time chasing who is looking for you.
Yes, sir.
And in the chase, say the chase.
Chase.
You never found what you were looking for. You only got the chase. Say the chase.
The chase.
And the chase ultimately sent you to the penitentiary. In the penitentiary, you had to decide whether or not you wanted to live or die.
Yes.
Sir.
Wow.
And if you decide you want to live, the question becomes, then how will I do it? And when that question comes to you, you begin to form that cord. You start emitting messages. Think about all them young brothers over the years you send them messages to who was watching you. Herbert always was clean cut, huh? Always moving, always quiet, always by himself, had a smile for you. You get what I mean? If you watched him, you could get a transmission. Some of the rest of y'all is like that too. But I'm telling you now, this has been the plague, the curse that many of us have been under, but we didn't understand it. And my whole reason for presenting this tonight is to try to give us a more complete understanding of how we got here and how we got to get to the next level. Somebody say the next level.
The next level.
All right, give them guys a big old hand right there. Did anybody get something out of that?
I did.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, watch this.
Spell the word.
O'Shea, you get something out of that?
Definitely a lot of food, a lot of food.
We're losing code with words, but
Right, a lot of food.
Somebody go to the act of faith and read loud.
I got it. October 8th. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Flip Wilson.
Mhm.
When I are in the dark, I quickly realize it is easier to see with the lights on. If I've ever been imprisoned, oppressed, in bondage to anyone or anything, I develop a yearning desire for freedom. I learn to appreciate good health when I am sick. I respect wealth when we are in poverty. It seems quite natural to define one condition by what appears to be the opposite. Freedom and oppression, illness and good health, poverty and wealth, happiness and sorrow, peace and confusion, faith and fear, strength and weakness, male and female. These are not opposing powers. They are the results of how the one power of life is used. The ancestors knew that everything comes from one source. They knew this source had the only one power and everyone else was a minor challenge. When I stay centered on the source, the power, I see that there are no opposites. Only light coming out of darkness to help me see where we want to go. there is only one power, one source operating in my life. Acts of faith.
Man, give God some love. And Doug, you see how that has now changed your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go ahead, elaborate some more.
Well, you know what, I think, you know, for the longest time, like I've said before, I've always lived in fear. And, you know, if I could only do this, or if I could only do that, or if I was stronger or smarter, or, you know, had more money, but it's not all that. It's who I am, and it's got to come from my heart. It's got to come from my mind on how I feel about myself. And the power is in me. Everybody else can be encouraging, which I love every guy here and girl, don't get me wrong, but it's got to be centered from my heart, and that's where it's coming from. I see life is coming from me on what I want to do with my life for other people, to give back, and every day the light gets brighter for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I got.
That's good.
So, Doug, I remember you from the first COP meeting. The first time that you spoke, I don't remember exactly what it is that you said, but Pop pointed you out, and he said, stand up, I want you to say I'm lovable, I'm valuable, I'm powerful, and I'm important. And you said that. You didn't know exactly what you were saying, but the next week that you came back, you could tell that something clicked. And the week after, you could tell that it clicked further. And to see you from then until now, I'm just so proud of you.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Papa and I, we talked about that day, and I'll never forget that day. It changed my life, just like that.
I was there.
And what you describing though was the cord. And all what I was doing was reconnecting the cord and started to transmit the message that you're looking for. If I'm not going to take Doug further, but if I could, I'd go back to his mother and what was his mother like, and this and that, and who, and the father, and what was he like, and see which one of these two chords was there. And you're going to find, I ain't trying to go there right now, but you're going to find the cord was loose. And when the cord is loose, the child is wanting. Because the child is always looking for somebody who's looking for it. This is why I tell you, the thing that you are looking for is looking for you, right? Don't be messing around here looking for a drink. If you're looking for a drink will start looking for you. If you're looking for depression will start looking for you.
That's right.
If you're looking for some anxiety, oh wait a minute, anxiety, look, it got legs, man. It'll get up and walk and find you.
Right.
I like what DeAndre said, and somebody else is in here struggling with it too, is that whole notion of boredom. That means I don't have anything productive to do with my time. To that extent, you have to get creative enough with your time, intentionally, not laying around waiting for something to happen, but getting up and strengthening that cord on your own. And then you're going to find that transmission. Chris, come in front of the chair over here. Come sit down. Give Chris a hand. I don't know why he's late, but he's late. I love Chris, and he's late. And, you know, why are you late?
Treatment.
Okay. Give him a hand then. You know what I mean? Treatment. You know what I mean? What am I going to say about some treatment? Tell your therapist, look, treat me on Wednesday. No, I'm just kidding. So are we somebody else want to jump in on the acts of faith or whatever? Go ahead, son.
I actually wanted to add that a couple weeks ago, I was asked to come speak at a meeting in St. Paul with the NAACP, some clergy and the community.
Right.
So I was there speaking, and you know they was trying to figure out, you know, how to combat the violence and all of that that's going on. And I asked them, you know, took from Shane's book, you mind if I really speak my mind, because I might offend you. You know, and they said speak my mind. So the first thing I pointed out to them was the biggest problem that you have is you having a community meeting, you have all these police here, but where are the people that we're supposed to be addressing? Nobody brought them in there. There was no youth there at first, so we was talking about that. And the thing that I wanted to point out is when you started talking about the cord and everything, what resonated is this is what I initiated. The chief of police was there, and I brought it up that what I feel like we need is a lot of guys who have been in prison and have changed their life. We've been there. We changed our life. We made the changes. We need to have some funding behind us for a program to where we can deal with the kids before they get in that situation. And I told them by doing that, we kill two birds with one stone. You're giving these guys what DeAndre just said, who's bored, you give them something to do.
That's true.
Which keeps them occupied and keeps them from recidivating.
Right.
And then you have these kids who are going through something. You have somebody that's telling them something better, and you stop that pipeline of them going to prison.
That's
two
it.
birds with one stone.
Come on. I heard that. I seen you on Facebook. That was powerful. Now that comes from from the leadership people. On another day, but not right now, I would talk with you about the fourth generation of crack babies. The fourth generation. This is these are the people who are shooting one another now. It appears like crack don't have nothing to do with it, but I'm telling you, it have everything to do with it. Right? And I'm just a little teaser would be when you destroy the family, the cord becomes like this. When the cord is like this, the child is wanted. And these are the young people that we're talking about now that don't think nothing about firing on somebody. Now I've just been around long enough now to know when them same young people who ain't thinking nothing right now about firing, when I get them, they're about 10 or 12 years in, something changes. Because you be believing somebody's going to call your name. Because you're a child. And a child is wanting. The penitentiary will beat down on your wanting.
Yes.
And that's when I started seeing, when I see a guy, a life or, whatever, at 10 or 12, and ain't nobody calling his name for nothing, is when I start seeing that brother start saying, wait a minute, I got to make a change. Now, that's a long time to wait, and it's a lot of destruction in the meantime. Right? There's a whole teaching around that. It's so powerful. I want to just lay it out sometime real good so you walk out of here clear. I'm not going to mess with it tonight. But I love what you said. I seen that on Facebook, and I seen when you said it, I was like, look, the pop guy's dropping it. You get it? And I was proud of you too, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You get it? What you've been trained to do. Somebody else, go ahead.
Oh, Pops, I'm appreciating that though, because seems like every time you're talking here, it's like reading some of our mail, and it's like you dig in my mail. Just yesterday was, I went to see my cousin in the county jail. I felt good, I'm going on the inside now. So just being there and experiencing, showing family that, we can be there for each other. Not criticize, not bamboozle each other. And he was all right, man. My cousin was like, oh my God, for real? Because I wasn't there for you. I said, well, no, we don't have time for that. We just need to talk about me and you right now. And the relationship we should have. And I told him, he said, man, he told me something really good, though, Pops, and it made me feel real, real lovable. He said, man, your support and how you do it. And I said, I mentioned you. I said, it's pop guys in there right now, right in the county. They looking at me. They was waving. They was in the jail. Look, waving at me. Right there. They right on the tier. You can see them on the tier. And,
what's up? Right.
So, and then he's like, how everybody, because he said he was on the phone, and he said, I happened to say my name loud, and his daddy name loud. He said they knew me. I'm like, man, but I gave it to him in the raw. I just keep praying, keep praying.
Yes, sir.
Because he's going through a situation. Now, here it is again. Like you just said about the drugs and the loose thing. Now, this boy never did no crime, no nothing. He not even have a ticket. Don't even have none of that. Now, he didn't got a hold to some pills, some loud, some drink. And it hurt me when I talked to him about it. He said, because I just been trying to fit in. Now here it is again. My sister just lost a son about 4 or 5 years ago on the freeway, jumped out the car, head on killed her.
Right.
Now here it is again, the police
Right.
just took her son today
Wow.
for the same stuff for my cousin
Right.
on 7th Street,
Mhm.
then killed the Puerto Rican brother.
Right. Trying
You
to
know.
fit in.
So here it is, another kid is gone.
Yes, sir.
And what could we do with the kids? You just said it right there. What could we do? We can talk all, the police can talk all this old crazy stuff and all that. But what could we do? You know, and like I said, you know, we need to show up and show out. We've been there. All of us been there. We need not to be sitting down no more. We need to just get out there. You know what I'm saying? Because they know. They know you, Pops. They know Mom. They know all of us. But they haven't seen our faces. And it hurts, though, because I'm like, I don't know what to say to this kid. But he said, I was taking pills. Ecstasy. I said, what is ecstasy?
So what is that?
But this young man, my cousin, and then he just asked my sister son this morning. So,
Ooh, brother, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. You know, and I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute, but I appreciate you right there, and I hurt for y'all, man. That's a lot of pain. It's a lot of bloodshed, man. You know. Somebody else, who got it?
I got it.
Go ahead.
I was doing foster care for boys. However, when I took the evaluation of the situation with the boys, in the last, I've been doing foster care on and off for 15 years, except in the last 3 months or 6 months, I had some young men that I would have had to call y'all, you know, y'all come over here and help me, because of different situations going on in my home, I didn't have the kind of support that I needed in that last portion for the boys, and therefore they needed some man to give them some man. So I said, okay, I'm gonna rearrange this situation, and so now I've started to do girls. So I just got 2 girls, and they both, you know, they're different in their persona, who they are, but I can help strengthen. I can help strengthen the core. I can make their core shorter and tighter because of who's here, because of my experiences, and that's what I'm doing.
She just made me grab something I didn't hear right. Hold it right. See, look here. This is another thing. Look right here. Pull it. See, look here. If you in a relationship, male and female relationship, whatever your preference is, if you're in a relationship and you don't have your cord pulled tight, it's not real. You're not ready yet. So you gotta be sending a message. You have to be communicating. So loving have to go through that message, right? And this is what she just got through saying, I'm sorry, I'm taking it. She said, well, I didn't have the support at my home. This is what she didn't have, the core. You see? This is how powerful it is. My sister, she had her mom, she's the only child. You know, so her mom and my dad, they always looking after her. They weren't looking after, teaching her how to look after herself. When both of them was dead, her cord was this. She didn't have the love, pull it. She didn't have that love that's communicating the right message, right? This was my sister last night. She was so sick. She had called me up, and I don't know what time it was. Too late to go to the hospital. Y'all picked her up. This is my sister. Of course I'm getting up. That's right. But what I was really doing was just communicating the message through the cord. Say the cord. The cord. I ain't trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to help you. Now look, if this is not right, You gotta move around. I'm gonna tell you something, because ain't nobody in here getting a day younger. I don't care what your age is.
That's right.
Nobody in here is getting a day younger. How long are you gonna stay in this? Here, how long are you gonna stay pretending? When the thing that you're looking for is looking for you. But this right here will have you pretending that you're really connected to something. You ain't connected to nothing. You ain't no. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm only trying to help you.
That's right.
People from my church was asking me, what can we pray for? How can we help you? What can we pray for? And I didn't really think about that. And then it dawned on me that marriage and committed relationships are busting out all over the pop room. Guys are in these committed relationships or going all the way to marriage. What does that mean? It means the cords are getting stronger. You start to realize, wait a minute, I have a responsibility. You taking up responsibility to man up in ways that you wasn't taking before. I'm talking about just 5 or 6 months ago. Do you hear that, what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Clearly.
Chris, what you got before you walk out the door?
I forgot to call them and let them know I was coming in late. I got called before 7 o'clock and it's 7:10.
That's a show. See the court. Yeah, but yeah. Give him a hand. Give her a hand. So I love you, but I don't want you, and I'm not trying to hurt you, but I'm loving you, and I don't want you to waste your shot. I don't want you to waste your shot. Somebody out here that needs to be loved and loved, you and this and that, and we can't wait around. The ship done sailed. The thing is gone. Somebody says it's gone. It's gone. Yeah, the ship has sailed. So the ship has sailed. It's a hard thing. That's a hard thing. But it happens. This thing happens in our lives. Jesus. And you're longing for it. I want it. What do you want? You want to be loved. You want that message to be sent to you. Am I making sense to somebody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. This is a brother's visiting from, where are you from, brother? Say your name.
Robert. How y'all doing? My name is Robert.
Give Robert some dap. You don't know him, but come on, what's up? Say something about yourself.
I don't know if y'all know the brother Ascari. He told me some good things about y'all. Thought that this would be a good place to start and what it would be my life in order that I needed to be. Been going through a lot. I don't know if this right now is the time to share.
Not right now. We're just meeting with,
Yeah.
But you're working. You working, right?
Not just yet. I just went to orientation, got on the shirt.
Okay.
I ain't just working with shit. There's a couple obstacles in the way that's preventing me from working.
What's your one obstacle?
I set up a business, but I set it up sole proprietorship, and it's too much of a liability to subcontract through street food. So I got to give me an LLC. It costs like $150. But that's superficial in the grand scheme of things.
So right behind you, this brother right here, Patrick Now, he knows all about that. Pat was driving for him, and I think Pat was set up. So you might want to just talk to Pat a bit off the line. So he was locked up for you?
Yeah, I've done 6 years, 8 months in Oklahoma.
Locked in Oklahoma. And then you came from there to here. They paroled you to Minnesota?
Nah, I got out. I discharged my time.
Okay.
Got a year out on probation.
Right.
And it was unsupervised.
Okay. You're going to sit because they don't know how to ever do that. Right. Well, you give him a little hand. Come on. Okay. Kevin right here. Kevin, now you done hear a little bit. You hear what we're talking about and you're feeling a little bit. Let me get some reaction from you. That's Kevin Bright right there,
Well,
in the red.
actually, I enjoyed the group local. It's awesome. But I would like to come back, if that's possible. But I think the whole scheme of the group is positive and fulfilling, And, so different people give different messages, but all the messages seem to be positive. And, I like that. It's sort of something that I need, in my life right now.
Right.
And it's an awesome group.
That's right. Yeah, just give us some love right there. Donald, what you got? Check in a little bit.
Man, I'm good. My name is Donald Ames for the guys that don't know me. I'm good. I just been trying to see me another job. I work at Mendot.
Right.
And I took over for this lady. She was out of medical leave. So I took over for her. And they said, okay, we'll give you 6 months. So I did. I worked for 6 months. And they offered me 6 more months.
Right.
So I took that. So my extension is for a year. But that year is up in January of 2020. So I'm waiting for the R&R people, the HR people to come and tell me whether they're going to employ me permanently or what. Because I'm at a point now where I want to get all the full benefit packages and everything, whole nine.
Right.
So I mean, they're not outworking me. You know what I mean? They're not. You know what I mean?
It's not going to be because of
No,
you.
it's not that because of anything I've done on a negative level.
Come on in.
And the lady, I don't even know if she can really get back or not because she was out on cancer. She had a cancer thing and she had a vasectomy and everything. They want her to be able to hold her hand up, her arm up for 45 minutes straight. I mean, there's normal people that can't do that. So, with that vasectomy, I don't think it's going to happen. I actually talked to her a couple of times.
Yeah, nice.
And she came in there for a little center retirement thing we had. And she told me, she said, well, I talked to them about you and I told them that I wanted them to create a position for me that I could do. Maybe sit in a desk or do contracts or do something I can do, and give you my old job.
Yeah.
And she said, that's what I'm talking to them about. And my boss that retired, he said he was talking to them about it as well. So,
But your boss haven't retired yet.
No, he has the one that actually hired me, the one that he retired. So one of some of his other guys now, a couple other new people actually, right?
Sure.
So they're just like play it by ear or whatever. So I get up, I go to work every day like I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean? But today I went to that job fair, down near the convention center.
How was it?
It was pretty good actually. This guy from over at the public school system over there. He said he probably could work and get me up in there, right? So I got his information, and Anderson Windows said they could probably get me some work with me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just out there just trying to make sure that I'm not going to be going from pillar to post, but I got something established, something solid, Push come to shove, I get a couple part-times and roll out if I have to.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to keep rolling, keep working, and keep moving,
But so give down some love right there. This one I want to show you about Donald. And first, before I say this, Donald showed up with his lovely wife, Sylvia, who I've known for many years, and their whole family. My wife and the rest of y'all conspired to throw me a surprise birthday party.
It was nice, man.
And look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm the last person. I don't want no surprise. I'll surprise you, but I don't want you surprised. I don't know why I'm like that. It's a part of my little makeup thing.
Right.
So I'm thinking I'm going to one of our employees here and her husband. I'm going to their anniversary in a black tie affair. They done sent me a fake invitation, with their picture on the invitation, saying come, black tie, dress to impress, this and that, this and that. Now I don't know they trying to play into my deal. I ain't got no idea. And my wife, she said, well, she working me, man. She said, I'm struggling with this. I'm gonna tell you the truth. She said, honey, what are you gonna wear? It's my wife. I said, well, honey, what you talking about? It says black tie right here, so I'm gonna wear a tuxedo. So she said, oh, okay. Now, little girl, she got a formal gown already. She's just trying to make sure I'm, So Donald and Sylvia came And man, they were so sharp. And my brother Donald Amos was sharp as a tack. I'm talking about he was sharper than Japanese arithmetic. I wanted to give him a hand. You know, he had a double-breasted tie on, man. I really liked it. I said, well, how come I ain't got no double-breasted tie like that? You know what he had on. But what I want to show you, though, about Donald and Sylvia, Donald, I want you to hold this for me. 2 hands. What I felt, though, about them, see, and I have heard people who tried to cause Sylvia to step away from her husband. I have heard this. And Donald is aware of it. But Sylvia saw something deep nobody else did see it. That's right. And all the people that had all this mouth, God bless them. Yeah. You can't even hate. Because they're just trying to protect. They sister or they brother, you know what I mean? So they can't really hate. But you have to figure out how do I get over that? And when it's send to my wife the love message through the cord. Honey, I love you. Don't leave me. You don't have to say those words. Just pull. And the love is being communicated through the cord. This is the umbilical cord. Just like that umbilical cord is always there. It's symbolic and a typology of how your life will always be. You're always connected to somebody's cord. Or you're the cord that somebody else is connected to. And if there's no pull in it, that is when the cord is working correctly. You can actually play a song on it because it's so tight. This is what I sensed with you and Seal on the night of the party, that your cord was so tight. That excited me, man. I'm talking about, man, to the very heights. I said, look at Donald Amos right there. With his honey bun and the cord was really tight. Will and Akithia showed up in maroon. Oh yeah. Both of them was double-breasted maroon. And they had the cord. Wait a minute, they went to dance. I said, my son got over there. I'm like, oh, hey. He started off. Some of y'all are in here and you was invited but you didn't come. And let me tell you why you didn't come. Because see, your picture. I'm gonna tell you, I'm just being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. Because wait a minute, you can say all what you want to say, but you can never say, I didn't show you no love. If you right here right now, Tim, and say, well, Brother Shane, that never showed me no love. You a lie and a grunt and your feet don't match. Huh? Yeah. So wait a minute, but you say, well, see, my cord is not strong. I still don't believe I belong there. That can't be for me at the hotel, you know, at the hotel. What was the name of the hotel? Marriott. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, the fireplace room, that can't be for you. That's right. Man, it's absolutely for you. I rebuke that thinking. You can't come in here and hang around me for no years like this and then be keeping your cord looking like this here. You got to get on this thing and pull on this thing like you got some good sense up in here. This is here with Dexter Harper right here. Have I ever showed you anything but love? Nothing but love. See, look, wait, but when Dex was hurt, this is where he went back to the old days when he didn't have a strong connection in the cord. That gave him permission to drink and to use. You know, if you come over here, I ain't giving you no permission to do none of that. Not because I ain't never drank or never used. But we just can't keep that thing going on forever. That's right. The party is over. Yes, it is. How much higher can you get? I'm trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I've been over here. You know what I mean? But I just want to thank you, man. I felt, bless me to my bottoms of my feet. I was so blessed. I went home. I couldn't even sleep because I just was in shock about it, you know what I mean? But it was very elegant and very beautiful, and I appreciate you, you know, that y'all didn't come. And y'all who didn't come, I still love you. But don't be acting like I haven't given you the opportunity for your core to be strengthened. Don't be acting like that. That's not on me. I had my side of the cord. I was pulling on that side.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Give it to Joe, and just because you pull it, and just because you clown, don't mean I wasn't ready to go back another time. I'm gonna tell you something. I let everybody in here tell me whatever you want to tell me one time. I'm going with you. I'm gonna believe you.
One time.
I can't hear you. One time. If you clown me, then I'm gonna go on my own though. Then I have to use my own thinking. You get it? But we got number love in here, and what's important about that love is that it's creating a cord that is strong enough, listen, to go into the future and rearrange things that have been set up to happen and keep the things that have already been predestined to happen, Robert, from happening. I'm just gonna wait for you to think about what I'm saying.
I gotta say something too about that. I'm upset about the invitation too, because I didn't see that, because I was in Africa for a few days, so I didn't see, if I missed the email or something, because I didn't get nothing from none of the guys.
I was upset too.
Yeah, because I would have been there.
Because I'm looking for, I didn't see no Dexter Hopper up in there.
I was upset. If I had to walk, I would have been.
Yeah, give him some love, give him some love. I believe that. So I just had to throw that in. Somebody else jump in.
Okay, me. When you said that, you're this side of the cord, the child side of the cord, is reaching, is trying to get the love from the other side of the cord. And they feel, when it's loose, they feel like nobody's there for them. Well, when I got out the penitentiary, I would have still been in the penitentiary because I had to expire because I had nowhere to go. And they said, the chaplain came to me one day and said, how come you ain't got in touch with your family since you've been here? And I said, I don't have no family because my mom died. And he said, your brother been looking for you for 2 years. He thought you was dead. I just broke out crying. And then when I called him, he said, sis, you can parole here. And I came home.
That's right.
And she clowned me. Tell the whole thing. She clowned me, but I ain't running away from that's my sister. So she can clown if she wants to, but you can't clown at my house. If you gonna clown, you gonna go. But even though, and she had to go, but even though she had to go, we still stuck with her. That's right. Got her, situated. Got her in some treatment, which she graduated from, and I was there to support her graduation. And I'm gonna be there some more. That's right. Because I'm your brother, I love you. But listen here, but clowning, I don't tolerate that from nobody.
All right.
I want to show you something right there. This is so deep. Can I tell you one more thing?
Oh yeah.
Something. I was thinking about my child, my youngest child is 11. Some of y'all who have probably met her, most of y'all already know her. She's 11 years old. And I love that, she makes me young. Whatever that is. You need something. I'm going to just tell you, the penitentiary keep me young. I feel I age by not going back like I go, every week. Right. There's some aging. I didn't have time to age. I'm too busy. But my daughter, she helps keep me young, just because there's always something in a young person's life, and she's making demands. Say demands. She's making demands on me that my body has to respond to. That's just all there is to it. That's my daughter. But what I get from her, I'm going to just show you something. Yeah, Sharad, you hold it. What I get from her, Pooh, is that, she came out it was just like this from the beginning. She doesn't know it any other way. Watch this. Because of it, at 11, there's nothing she won't try. I have to, I have to be careful not to discourage her prematurely, because I wouldn't try it.
Right.
Because she's not me, right? You know what I mean? She's a part of me, but she's a part of herself. This girl is bold. She's smart. She believes that there's love in family. She believes in family. She believes in her mother and father. These old school values, pre-crack cocaine. Pre-crack cocaine is the one that came in and stole those values from our urban communities. Even slavery wasn't bad enough to steal a mother's love from her child. The only thing that has ever been put into the community that could take a mother from a child is crack cocaine. And we have never recovered from that.
That's powerful.
And now we in the 4th generation of the crack baby. So we had those who were crack addicted who never understood crack. You just got it for the first time. Never could. You didn't have a way to know how deadly it could be. Then those children came uncared for. They started calling them crack babies. They found out now there's no such thing as a crack baby, but the child is malnourished. And malnourishment means that, look, hold it. Look, nobody wants me. I'm hungry and nobody will feed me. I keep jumping. That's what the child was doing in the womb, and they was calling that there's a crack baby. The crack, it didn't penetrate the placenta. Only alcohol can do it. And now I have heard that maybe meth can, right? But watch this. This is what happens when the baby is malnourished. He or she doesn't believe that they are wanted. So now when this child comes forward, she's looking for anybody, let's just put it in a female, anybody who will show me love. Well, we prostituted her. But she was willing. And she really was looking for love. You was looking for some money, but you smoking. Y'all had a baby. Now here comes this baby. This baby now is raised in foster care. I'm reading somebody's mail here. This baby's in foster care. Never seen their parents. Daniel Waterhouse Greer. You remember Daniel? He knows his mother, but doesn't have an idea of his father, and lost his mother at an early age. Confused. This is how the cord looks. Come on. This is how the cord looks, and he can't connect. What he's looking for is who is looking for me. Nobody is looking for you. Watch this until, Kevin, you start looking for yourself. When you start looking for yourself, then the connection is rekindled. It's like giving yourself a jump. And then when you start looking for yourself, then somebody on the other end will raise up that's looking for you, that conduct the child. That's right. That can conduct the child. But if you don't look for yourself, then the thing that you want will never stand up and look for you. Sit back down.
That's good.
If you're looking for love and you give it to yourself, love will stand up and start coming towards you.
Absolutely.
Because you're meant to be. It's yours.
Well, I'm just trying to help somebody tonight. Is anybody getting anything in this room?
Yes.
Anybody getting anything in this room? Somebody come. Will, what you got?
Oh man, I just I was just with the reading, I was reading it earlier, and I was thinking when I read it, the first thing that came to mind was God is one. And I'm thinking about that life force, and how blessed I am to be a part of it. And when I look out, everything I see, everything's around me is a result of that life force. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
But it's but it's spectrums of it. You know, I could take it to a destructive end, you know, or I could use that life force and, you know, to create something really positive and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But it's only that one life force. And I'm thinking, man, it's been times in my life when it was very dark. And, you know, understanding now that it's only been that one life force, I realized even then when it was very dark, part of the reason was my perspective. My perspective was dark. It was negative.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when things changed in my thinking, that's when opportunities started to come about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, the read is pretty powerful, man, and I just like it. I just like how it's just that one life force.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what,
I just like
what
that.
you're saying is making me think of something I want to tell you. When I first started going to prison, you know, the word that I would hear from staff about Will was negative.
Right.
When I first started going, they had little comments. But after a few years, that whole conversation started to change. And Will was being so kind of like industrious inside of the shop. What was that big old teacher's name? That big dude in Faribault. He's a big, he looked like he's a Native American brother.
He's talking about Mr. Johnson. This thing.
What's his name?
Mr. Charles Johnson,
Yeah.
Chuck Johnson.
I don't know.
Small business.
But yeah. Well, anyway, I know that the people used to tell Will he would never getting out. And the politics supported that thinking. But Will, through the life force, changed that whole conversation. Not only did he get out, he got out quicker than he thought he was going to get out, or than anybody else. Plus, not only that, but has remained out now about 8 years now, something like that. And you know, I mean, come on, get some love. You know, closed on their house, and you know, so if they don't never buy another house, this house is bad.
Yes, it is.
I was telling Will, this is the average American buys 7 homes. And me and Will was talking. I love this conversation. And Will said, well, Pop, that doesn't sound like my reality. You know? And I remember when I first read it, I said, that don't sound like my reality. But now I'm up to about 4. And you know, here is you know, these guys, you never know. You get what I'm saying? What you can do, Kevin, on the other side of your best effort hasn't been untold yet. We know what your worst effort can get you. But what can your best effort produce?
Say that, Bob. Say that.
Wait a minute, and I ain't asking you to give nobody else your best. I'm talking about giving it to yourself. And if you give yourself your best effort, somebody else will rise up and come into agreement with you. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm through with y'all tonight. I think y'all got tired of me, but what I'll tell you this is we got some new guys tonight, guys who just come home from prison. We're gonna have ice cream and cake. I have a belief, just for me. I remember when I was in the street, I worked for many years and I never ate no ice cream and cake like I did when I was a kid, because I was too preoccupied with street stuff. But you know, I realized, but I enjoyed it though when I was younger. And I said, you know, whenever anybody comes home from prison, we're gonna give ice cream and cake like when we was kids. You know what I mean? And so tonight, on the strength of Chris and all the issues he had last week, and Gerald and all the issues he's had, and Anthony, who didn't come back from last time, we have an ice cream and cake on his strength. He was struggling with his transition, he said last week. And so we're going to have Tierra maybe do a little follow-up to see if he's all right. Right? But for those men who were celebrating tonight, and you, give them a big round of applause. I just want to check on a few people. Tim, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Good.
Yeah, for a while I was sort of down and everything else, and so just coming here, I thought, you know, instead of letting my mind go in bad places, I thought I'd come to Pop and get some good energy, some positive feedback. You know, that's why it's here, you know, so I'm glad you're here, just helping me get through because it's a hard time. I'm right in the middle of waiting for things to happen. I did go to Amicus and did a little bit of interviewing practice. Now, mind you, I was a city bus driver for 26 and a half years. I never really had to interview, so this is something that's totally new, and as a 16-year-old, I'm going to have to start going out and doing that. So that was good because I didn't do very well, but I learned from it, you know. And then I met with the employee person, and at the same time, I'm dealing with getting my medical stuff done. But the patient, sometimes sometimes you want things to happen right away. I want things to happen real fast, but I have to wait. And so I'm actually, you know, this was a good thing because while we were waiting for things, while I'm waiting for things, I have to find people that will feed into feed my spirit positively instead of allowing TV or other negative people to feed my spirit negatively. And so
give him some dab right here. That's all with the preacher over there. Go ahead, one more time. Go ahead, I'm gonna give you a little bit more.
Yeah, so that's why I came here and you spoke very truthfully, you know, that all of us have that situation. I have that situation. I'm sure everyone else has situations where you find yourself, you know, unloved, and you just find yourself by yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Well, get around. There are people out there that love you.
That's right.
And know also, of course, that's why I have faith. Get in your Bible and read about that. Know God loves you too. So, and fill your mind with the right thoughts. You know.
Let me stop you right there. Give my hand. Give my hand. Give my hand.
Mr. Ed from the Farmers Co-op, who hired Geronimo, asked me about the drivers who got Geronimo on the job. He just now asked me about a seller, somebody to sell and help sell produce. They work out of the office out there. Same spot as Geronimo.
Got it. Okay, well, anybody want to sell produce? Uh-oh, look. Chris said he gonna sell something.
Sometime after this, just get a hold of me and we'll figure it out.
All right. Geronimo, Tim, that was so good. That was good for a lot of reasons. And I'm proud of you, and I'm so glad you're sitting there. Geronimo, you hadn't said nothing tonight. You got a few things going on. Just give us a holler over there.
I'm blessed to be alive for the 53 years of my life.
Someone said, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. All right, brother. Give him a big hand. And look who's eating ice cream and cake, the birthday boy.
What I got tonight, what I've been experiencing these last weeks, is that I'm not ashamed to live in the light. I live in the light now. I don't live in the dark.
You gotta listen to this. Excuse me.
I had a situation come up. I went to my 35th class reunion.
Wow.
And I had somebody had some animosity towards me. They showed my picture of my offense to the rest of the class.
Wow.
And I said, I'm here because I live in the light. I ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? It hurt, but here I am. I'm not in the dark anymore. I'm in the light. This is my life now. So to took a lot.
Congratulations for you. And get that brother some love. So that was pretty powerful with the site.
Shame me that.
I just let me know the devil always busy, eh?
Yeah. Go ahead. Somebody else. Somebody want to say something to that? Pat, what you got?
Well, I'm gonna just say,
you know, for the fact that, you know, you being able to speak up shows volumes about how you think of yourself now. Because there probably was a time when you wouldn't have said anything, just like the rest of us, about anything. You know, there's not one of us on this face of this earth that hasn't done something that's been shameful, you know, disrespectful to us as a person, other people as well. But the thing about it is, people that are in misery love to see you miserable as well. So if they can make you feel miserable, then they've done their job. So your job is to stay positive and keep yourself uplifted, so that therefore they don't get into what your head and what you want.
That's good. That's a good word, Pat. Sure appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean, bro, look, I'm talking about, and the man just hit the fault. He just hit it in the head. Because being truthful, I mean, made me feel good. And the relationship, you know, the relationship was, wow. You know what I'm saying? And I had to say, boy, you got to man up and grow up. Something I never did. You know, because I always got spoiled and, you know, never got a whooping and none of that, even though I needed it. But, I mean, man, you just, man, you did good, bro.
Yeah.
Because I commend you, and I was scared. But that ain't who I am today. You know, like you said, we all make mistakes.
Yes, sir.
Period.
Right. Point blank.
So, I can attest to that because I opened up to somebody that I was just scared to death. But I did it, though. And you know what? If she wanted to take it how she wanted to take it and run with it, so be it. But she didn't do it. She loved me for who I am. That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, come on, man. That's
their goal anyway, is to have meaningful relationships with people, you know? And that person is never going to help you raise your kids, never going to help you get a job, never add to your personal development or your leadership qualities or characteristics. So you don't need a relationship with that person. That becomes a reflection of their character, and you can maintain your character because that's our personal power to think a better thought, to say a better word, to make a better choice. You know what I'm saying? And you exercise that.
Look at that pop guy right there. I love that.
This before I leave you.
Where you got to go? Where you running off?
No, I want to say this here. I've been thinking about this. How many times and how many chances should a person get, right? I've been thinking about this in my head. And the reason I got to thinking about it is because I'm a lifer and I had violated 2 times. Baseball, 3 strikes, you're out. You know, basketball, 5 fouls, you're through. You're 6, the pros, you know. But the people that I associated with the most were the people that said, well, he's not going to get it. He's stuck. He's not going to get it. He's stuck. And I don't really want to keep wasting my time. It's like throwing good money in that bag and I'm not getting no dividends. I'm not getting no return from off of it. So they scattered and did all these different things, right? And it made me think about it. I'm knowing all the time within myself and within my spirit, I'm not that bad. I'm not that guy. I'm not a bad person.
Right.
I'm worthy of a chance I'm going to take.
Yes.
So think about this.
Wow.
What if God said to us on earth, I'm through with you.
Yeah, right.
I gave you 2 chances.
That's right.
I gave you 3. Right? I gave you 4. You ain't act right yet.
Right.
What if God said that about us? Will we have mankind any longer?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I'm thinking about this and I'm hearing people say, well, you know, I feel like if you see this hole, I'm quoting you here. If you see this hole and you fall into it the first time, okay, I might forgive you. But you see that hole again, you walk that path again, you fall in the second time, well, you must want to be in that hole, right? Okay, I'm thinking about this though, right? But there's so many battles, so many generational curses, so many different battles, and so many dysfunctional cycles going on in the universe.
Yeah.
How can any one person say, how many times is no chance for you to get it right? And what if I gave up on you? What if God gave up on me? Or gave up on anybody in this room? There ain't nobody among us that ain't got sin. In equity, right?
That's right.
And it's only by the grace of God that we sit here and we can even say that.
That's true.
So when I hear that, it kind of makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up because I'm thinking to myself, these people got to grow, you know, spiritually. You know what I mean? Because it's a spiritual matter. That's why the world is at war all the time. You know what I mean? Because people say, I gave you a chance, you crossed me. You know what I mean? Or you're not worthy of my friendship, my loyalty, my love. You know, my concern, my compassion. So, I mean, what you guys just bringing up has just been on my temple for a while because, like, I'm knowing it takes as many times it's going to take for you. You know what I mean? It's for me to be patient with you. Not throw rocks and you kick you down, but be here. And you know what? That's the mission of power. That's why we're in this room. Yeah. If you ain't got nowhere to go, you can come to this room.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I'm living for something.
I feel that too. You know, I feel that, you know, that if we're going to truly believe that anything is possible for us, then we can't put a number on how many chances we think we deserve. How many chances you need. You know what I'm saying? And for each and every one of us, it's different. Now, one thing, man, one thing that used to really bother me in prison was how it was a built-in shaming a machine in it.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, even all the programs, the restorative justice programs. Listen, I used to sit in rooms and I used to look around, and I'm telling you, I saw guys just beating themselves up. And I'm like, and I'm saying to myself, okay, now, I'm saying, now, what good can we ever hope to be if we stuck in shame and guilt? What good can we be to anyone? And show me a person who's stuck in that stuff, I will show you someone who will never see redemption.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't believe it's theirs to be had. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, listen, I was dismissed from one of those programs. I was supposed to have been like the facilitator. But, I just couldn't get with the theme I was here, so I spoke on it. Well, that was the last time I went back. Yeah, that was terrible. But the thing is, our mistakes can't define who we are. Right? Everybody in here is better than the worstest thing they've ever done. You know what I'm saying? So man, I'm just not with that. I went to prison for murder. I murdered someone, took his life. I feel bad about that, but don't get it twisted. I would never be stuck in that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just won't. Not to make anybody happy. You understand? And so, if you know the man you are, and if you believe in the man that you've become, ain't no way in the world you let some other man who put his drawers on the same way you do shame you. You know what I'm saying? You stand up and be the man that you know you are. You know what I'm saying?